Hello guys, this is Red and welcome to Narinig Ko Kay Sir Red. Today we are going to start our discussion in our subject General Chemistry 1. Now chemistry guys is the study of matter. Lahat ng nakikita natin sa paligid natin, kahit ikaw, ako, or yung mga favorite mong K-pop groups like BTS, lahat tayo ay gawa sa matter. That's why our topic for today will be matter. Specifically, we are going to talk about its particulate nature, its different phases and how it transforms from one phase to another, and the different properties of matter. Now, let's begin by defining matter. Matter is defined as anything that has mass and occupies space. Pag sinabi nating mass, this is the measure kung gaano karaming matter ang laman ng object na yun. So, kung mas maraming matter yung laman ng object, then it is more massive. The space occupied by the object naman is what we call volume. Okay? So, kung gaano kalaki yung object. So, anything that has mass at nag-occupy ng space or may volume ay considered matter. Now, sabi natin kanina, everything in the universe is made of matter. Pero, saan gawa ang matter? So, it is made up of three particles. And the first one ay yung tinatawag nating atoms. Atoms are the smallest unit of matter. Kumbaga, ito yung pinaka-building block ng matter. Kung sa building or sa bahay, ang building block natin ay hollow blocks, yun ang bumubuo sa bahay. Okay, then, sa matter naman, atom ang kanyang smallest unit. Now, mayroon na tayong idea sa itsura ng atom because we have models, right? So, makikita natin doon, at the center, there is the nucleus and it is made up of positively charged particles called protons. Katabi nun or kasama nun sa nucleus ay mga neutrally charged particles called neutrons. And sa paligid ng nucleus naman ay ang mga negatively charged particles called electrons. Now, atoms are usually electrically neutral. It means the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. Okay? But when an atom loses or gains an electron, it becomes what we call ions. Okay? For example, a neutral atom that has 2 protons should have 2 electrons. But if it gains an additional 1 electron or extra electron, then it becomes negatively charged because there are more electrons kaysa sa protons. It becomes negatively charged and we call it an ion. Now, if a neutral atom that has 2 protons and 2 electrons loses 1 of its electrons, then it becomes positively charged because there are more protons than electrons. So, it is positively charged and we call it cation. That is ions. If you're going to look at your periodic table, there are 118 elements listed in it. Okay? These elements represent the different types of atoms. So, meron tayong 118 types of atoms. For example, gold or Au in your periodic table represents the atom that makes up gold. Ag represents the atoms that make up silver. So there are 118 types of atoms. Okay? Pero, hindi lang 118 yung substances na nandito sa universe. There are thousands. How come? If there are 118 atoms lang or types of atoms. That is because atoms have the capability to bond together or to combine together to form what we call molecules. So when one atom of one element plus the atom of another element combines together, they form a new substance. That's why there are thousands of substances out there. Example, oxygen plus hydrogen can make water. What else? Carbon plus hydrogen plus oxygen plus nitrogen can make the organic compound we call amino acids that is necessary for life. So, the combination of different types of atoms can create different kinds of different kinds of substances. That's why there are thousands of substances around us. So, those are the three particles that make up matter. Next one, let's talk about the phases of matter. There are currently there are five known states of matter. Of course, solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and Bose-Einstein condensate. Now, we are quite familiar doon sa tatlo, the solid, liquid, and gas. But for plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate, medyo rare itong dalawang ito. For example, yung plasma, they can be found on lightning flashes, yung nakikita nating guhit kapag nagkakaroon ng kidlat. Okay, ano pa? Nakikita din natin ito sa northern lights or yung mga aurora borealis natin. Okay? What else? Nakikita rin ang plasma sa solar wind na binubuga ng araw. And yung Bose-Einstein condensate naman, they are made in the laboratory at hindi siya madaling gawin. Now, we are only going to discuss yung three common states of matter sa atin, solid, liquid, and gas. And we are going to begin with the first one, solid. Now, solid have definite shape, definite volume, and it is incompressible. Bakit kaya? It has something to do with the arrangement of particles. Makikita natin yung particles na bumubuo sa solids are tightly packed o dikit-dikit at hindi gumagalaw. This is because of the strong attractive forces sa pagitan ng mga particles na ito. Dahil hindi sila makagalaw, kaya definite yung kanyang shape. At dahil hindi sila dahil sa hindi malaki or dahil sa dikit-dikit sila sa isa't isa, hindi sila makompress. That's why it have volume and it is incompressible. Okay? Next naman are liquids. Gaya ng solids, ang mga liquids have a definite volume and they are incompressible. But unlike solids, ang mga liquids have infinite shape, meaning pwedeng magbago at depende sa pinaglagyan ng liquid natin. Again, dahil ito dun sa arrangement ng particles ng liquids. Okay? As you can see, yung mga particles ng liquids natin are close together, gaya ng sa solids, but yung attractive forces sa pagitan ng mga particles ng liquids ay hindi ganun kalakas, hindi kagaya ng sa solids. Kaya, yung mga particles ay free na gumalaw, allowing the liquid to change its shape. But then, again, yung spaces in between the particles are still too small, kaya hindi nako-compress ang liquids at hindi nagbabago yung kanilang volume. And of course, last but not the least are gases. Gases, kagaya ng liquids, have indefinite shape, meaning nagbabago din yung kanyang shape. Pero hindi kagaya ng liquid at solid, ang mga gases have indefinite volume and it is compressible. Dahil ito, again, sa arrangement ng particles ng gases. Okay, gaya na nakikita natin, yung mga particles ng gases ay magkakalayo sa isa't isa. At dahil malayo sila sa isa't isa, malaking space in between them, pwedeng i-compress yun pag in-apply ng force. Kaya, compressible ang gas. Okay? At nababago yung kanyang volume. Okay? At dahil magkakalayo sa isa't isa ang mga particles, they can freely move anywhere. Okay? That's why it has indefinite shape at madaling magbago ang shape ng gases. Now, itong tatlong states of matter natin na to, solids, liquids, and gas, ay pwedeng mag-transform sa isa't isa. Ang solid ay pwedeng maging, ang liquid ay pwedeng maging solid. Ang solid ay pwedeng maging gas, ang gas ay pwedeng maging liquid. Yung process ng pag-turn ng liquid into solid ay tinatawag nating freezing. Okay? Freezing. It involves the decrease in temperature. Yung kabaliktaran namang proseso nito, solid, to liquid naman ay tinatawag nating melting. It involves the increase in temperature. Now, from solid to gas naman, ang tawag natin doon ay sublimation. It usually involves the increase in temperature. Yung from gas to solid naman is what we call deposition. It involves the decrease in temperature. Now, from gas to liquid naman, it is what we call condensation. It usually involves the decrease in temperature. And yung kabaliktaran namang proseso from liquid to gas is what we call evaporation. It involves the increase in temperature. This is what we call phase change or yung pagbabago-bago ng states of matter. Now, tungkol pa rin sa phase change, anong nakakaapekto sa pagbabago ng phases ng matter? Nasabi ko na kanina na ang temperature ay may kinalaman. Ang pagtaas, pagbaba ng temperature ay nagkukos ng pagbabago sa states of matter ng object. Okay? Pero may isa pang factor na tinitignan natin. That is pressure. Okay, makikita natin dito sa graph na to, okay, kung saan ba yung borderline ng tatlong states of matter. Now, ipagpalagay natin na ang pressure ay constant at hindi nagbabago. Ano ang magiging epekto ng temperature? Kapag ang temperature ay mababa, usually, it is in solid form. Okay? Now, paano pag tumaas yung temperature ng object? It will be in liquid form. Now, pag pinataasan pa natin yung temperature ng object, it becomes gas. Okay? So, at constant temperature, pressure, yung pagbabago ng temperature ay nakakaapekto from solid, nagiging liquid, and then nagiging gas. Okay? Now, how if ang temperature naman ang constant o hindi nagbabago? Ano magiging epekto ng pagbabago? Okay? Now, ipagpalagay natin na constant yung temperature. Ano mangyayari pag nagbago-bago ang pressure? Pag bababa ang pressure, ang state of matter natin ay gas. Pag tinaasan pa natin yung pressure, it becomes liquid. At pag tinaasan pa natin yung pressure, that will become solid. Okay? So, ito ang epekto ng pressure at temperature sa pagbabago ng state ng isang matter. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin yung mga properties o katangian ng matter. Mga properties of matter can be classified based on 1. The changes it undergoes, and 2. Dependence on the amount of matter. Yung changes undergone can further be classified to physical or chemical change. Yung dependence on matter naman can be classified into extensive and intensive properties. Now, unahin natin pag-usapan yung mga changes undergone by matter. Again, it can be classified as either physical or chemical. Unahin natin yung physical. Physical changes are the changes in appearance or even the face of an object. For example, yung tubig na nag-freeze into ice, nagbago yung kanyang appearance. Okay? Yung papel, pag ginunting-gunting natin, nagbago yung kanyang shape, yung kanyang haba, yung kanyang dimension. Okay, so change in appearance. Pero, isa pang punto dito sa physical change is that there is no change in chemical composition. Example nga, yung tubig na naging yellow. Kahit na naging yellow na siya, tubig pa rin siya. Hindi nagbago yung kanyang chemical composition. Okay? Yung papel, pag ginunting-gunting natin, nagbago nga yung shape niya, yung itsura niya, but papel pa rin yun. Okay? So, change in appearance, but there is no change in chemical composition. Example niyan are phase changes, cutting, and breaking. Okay? Next one ay yung ating chemical change naman. Chemical change, kagaya ng physical change, is pagbabago sa itsura din and even face. Okay? Ang pagkakaiba lang nitong dalawa is that dito sa chemical change, nagkakaroon ng pagbabago sa chemical composition ng object. For example, yung papel. Kapag kasinunog natin, nagkakaroon niya ng chemical reaction. Sa chemical reaction, guys, may mga nabubuong bagong mga substances. For example, from papel, pag sinunog natin yon, may nabubuong mga substances like gases, like carbon dioxide. Okay, at yung ashes din. So, hindi na siya pareho doon sa dating papel. Yung ash ay hindi na papel, abo na siya. At yung gas ay hindi na rin papel, gas na siya. Okay, so may mga bagong chemicals or substances na form at mayroong bagong chemical composition. Nagbabago yung chemical composition ng object. Okay? So, that is chemical change. Example ay burning, rusting, decaying, at spoiling. Okay? Next one. Pag-usapan naman natin yung dependence on the amount of matter. So, it can be intensive or extensive. Pag sinabi natin extensive, ito yung nakadepende sa kung gaano karaming matter yung laman ng object. Okay? Examples nito are mass, volume, length. Okay? For example, yung isang maliit na block ng ice or cube ng ice kumpara sa malaking bloke ng ice, mas marami yung matter na laman nung mas malaking bloke ng ice. Okay? So, dahil mas marami yung matter niya, mas malaki yung mass niya. Magkaiba sila ng mass. Okay? Ganon din yung volume. Since mas maraming matter yung laman ng bloke, mas malaki yung space na kanyang i-occupy kaysa dun sa maliit na cube ng ice. Okay? Ayan. So, length. Kung mas maraming matter yung laman ng object, mas mahaba din siya. Okay? For example, yung rope natin. Kung mas maraming matter yung bumubuo sa isang rope, mas mahaba siya. Kung mas maikse, mas konti din yung kanyang matter. Okay? So, itong mga extensive properties na to ay nakadepende sa kung gaano karaming matter yung laman ng object. Okay? Next one is yung intensive naman. Intensive properties do not depend on the amount of matter. Kahit mas marami man yan or mas konti, pareho lang yung kanilang property, intensive property. Example niyan are melting point. Balikan natin yung yellow. Yung maliit na cube ng yellow versus yung malaking cube ng yellow, pareho silang matutunaw sa isang melting point lang. And that is 0 degrees Celsius. So, hindi yan nakadepende sa dami. Yung melting point ay hindi nakadepende sa dami. Okay? Hindi siya nakadepende sa amount of matter. Kahit na malaki man yan or maliit man yan, same yung kanilang melting point. Next one. Yung boiling point naman. Yung isang tasa ng tubig, for example, versus isang kawa ng tubig, ay parehong magbo-boil sa 100 degrees Celsius. So, hindi porke marami yung isang kawa at konti lamang yung isang tasa, ay magkaiba na yung kanilang boiling point. Hindi. Pareho lang yung kanilang boiling point. Wala yan sa dami or konti. Pareho pa rin yung kanilang boiling point. Okay? So, that is intensive properties. Okay? So, thank you sa inyong panunood and I hope may natututunan kayo somehow. Please paki-like yung ating page sa FB, Narinig Ko Kay Sir Red. And of course, yung ating YouTube channel, Narinig Ko Kay Sir Red, pa-subscribe. If you have some suggestions, questions, you can email me sa redeemer.gacad@deped.gov.ph. Again, thank you and good luck.